Welcome back to What's Next Garage. Today we are finally finishing up on the 1994 Caprice Classic LS. I'm starting this one out by banging my head again. We're going to get the oil drained. We're going to lift up the engine. So we're lifting the motor off the crank pulley. It went really easy. Pull the oil pan, redo the oil pan gasket, redo the oil filter housing gasket, and then button everything back up and get this thing back on the road. Stick around. Here we go. And I'm not sure, I may need a new oil level sensor switch because it looks like the sensor switch has got a little bit of leakage. So this guy here, it's damp around there. This is the plug, so then all I can do is unscrew that without having that. I got a lot of tears, but I think what I'm gonna do is get my engine hoist and put it in here and lift it with my engine hoist because I don't have a lot of room here. And Ozzy's got it right, man. No more tears. Time to get to work. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna get all the bolts out of the oil pan. So this is gonna get loosened up. I'll take the motor mount bolts out. I'll lower the car. I'm gonna have to pick up on the front of the engine. Then I'm going to pull the pan out. Okay, we're just gonna go down. We're gonna loosen up all this hardware. And then once we get the pan loose, then we're gonna put the motor up after I take the motor mount bolts out. And then we're gonna see if we can pull this pan out of here easily. We're just loosening up these two so that I could get underneath this crossover to get at those bolts that are hidden underneath this cross member. So then once you do that, you can get your wrench up there easier to get that one guy right there. Right there, right there. That guy. So we still have that guy right there. Alright, this old floppy thing. My goodness. Right there. Okay, got it. With the sequence of the right tools, you'll be okay. Got it. Okay. Yep, 13. Yeah, pretty tight. Yep, that's all loose. There we go. And this one has a different shape. Okay, so now the oil pan is free. Let's just turn there. Dropped right out. Okay. Drops right down. So now you can see that there's no pulling that out of there. We got lots in the way. So now we're gonna bring the car down and we're gonna put the engine hoist on the front after I get the motor mounts out. And there's one bolt here and then there's one right here. So they're not too bad. These will be pretty easy. We'll pop those out and then we'll lift this thing up. So the engine mounts are kind of a little crappy to get to. Now don't get me wrong, if I had this exhaust manifold off, it would be easy peasy because I could get right up there, but I'm trying to not. Is that even going on there? I don't think that's going on there. No, that doesn't even fit. Okay, we're trying an 18 millimeter. We should be able to get him on there. The devil. All right, get this guy up there. I should have put a little bit of shot of stuff. spinning on the other side. Okay, it's rotating on the other side, so I have to back it with a wrench. Into there, and up into there. There we go. Got that one. That was kind of a pain in the butt. And it feels like, yeah, it feels like that slid right out. So I was able to pull that pin right out. It's right there. So that won't be bad. Just get in there. It's just gonna be tough getting a 7/16 on the other end. Oh, I could go. Okay. There. We got it right here. Right here. Ah, shoot. Let's get this guy on there. There we go. Yeah, that's spinning on the other end. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that they spin on the other end. It's really quite shitty. So now that it's loose, let's go in there with this. Okay. Oh, it rolled down right here. I'll just get a magnet. All right, so we got them out, and it's right behind here. There. All right, let's see. That guy comes. Oh, geez, that comes right out of there too. Okay, so the pull down. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try and push up on this. Okay, I didn't videotape what I did, but I did push up on here, and it went up really easy. I had barely any force. You can almost do it by your hands. You can almost lift this, obviously, if I'm a little stronger, but it went up really easy by pushing here. I had blocks of wood on here, pushed it up probably that high, and then I got the pan down there. I just need to clean it up, and then I'm gonna pull the gaskets off. The hardest part to seal up is here and here. Right? These are the spots that you got to be careful with. So I've got to clean up all this, let all the oil drip down, and then we could get it all back together. See right here, from here to here, this spot right here is potential for leaks if you don't put some sealant on it. Oh, the dipstick tube. Oh, shit. Dipstick tube. So I'm pushing the dipstick up, and I'm just going to work this guy down. Yep. The dipstick tube. All right, this side was broken when I pulled the pan down, so it should be like that. So we could see some RTV there, and we could see some RTV in there. So we're gonna wipe everything down, get this all cleaned up, and then we're gonna make sure we get this up high enough next time. Okay, we're almost done. We've scraped, we've brushed, razor bladed, the whole works. So now we just got to get everything oil free. I'm really taking a lot of time on this. This has been, I think I've been at this for maybe more than an hour now. Just making sure that I get every little bit of anything that's going to prevent this from sealing up tight off of there. Got all these gaskets. Okay, this is a funky Cole Medina. This is a husky dog. So this is the Fel Pro one. It's gonna go like this and up, and then it has these snap-up pins, which are supposed to make it easier. So you thread them in, snap the gasket over, install oil pan bolts, and then take them out. Oh yeah, they compress. Okay, so the part that worries me is they had, the OEM I think had RTV silicone in here and here. So here for sure. corners. I'm gonna lift up the motor, just get everything set. Okay, so that's as high as I'm going with the motor. You can see the motor mount clearly. So I just need to make sure now that we don't get any oil running back. I don't see anything running back on it. So I'm gonna get the pins in there and then get this installed, get the gasket in. So I'm gonna put her in a time lapse while I do this. If anything comes up that's interesting, I'll stop. We're up, we're holding on the pins. We've got our RTV. We're good and clean. Up front, same thing. So now we're gonna get the oil pan slid up in there. And the oil pan is over here. And I have gone through and cleaned it. Okay, we have all of the bolts in. We still have the engine up in the air because it's easier to torque them now. So I've got to get the bolt pattern, and I verified that the blue is sticking out all over the place. So we got a good install, and now we just got to torque things down. Okay, we're gonna torque to OEM specs. So it's like 7.5 where the pan meets the block, and then 13 on these 5/16 bolts. So we're gonna just go 1, 2, 3, we're gonna crisscross all the way down and then catch these last two. And then we should be good to go. All right, here we go. Okay. Everything's tight. We're going to ease her down and set her in the motor mounts. That worked out well. Here we go. So this goes in this way. Okay, that one's in no problem. So we got that motor mount bolted in. Let's take him down the rest of the way. And you can see that the motor mount's lined up. There. So pushed in by hand. I'm waiting for an oil level switch because the oil level switch that was on here was leaking as well. So there's not much left to button up. I'm gonna leave this oil pan cure overnight, and tomorrow fill this thing up with oil and tranny fluid, and then let her sit and idle and see how things go. Let's get these tight. That's tight. Perfect. Okay, so up here, there's gonna be a paper gasket right there, see? You need to make sure you get that paper gasket out of there. He's pretty hard, so I'm gonna have to it's a tough one to get out of there. And if you don't know it's there, you're in big trouble because you'll double up on your gaskets. So we gotta get him out of there.
Also, your kit will come with a square rubber gasket, an O-ring, and then it comes with 2 paper gaskets. Now this is what came out of this particular setup. So we're gonna run this guy in the groove. So you just have to be aware, you have to get that gasket out from up above and then scrape this off nice. Otherwise you'll have dual gaskets up there, potential leak.
Okay, we want to get all of the staining out of here and the O-ring groove. Make sure there's nothing in there that's going to keep that from sealing up good. Ooh, that shines up nice, like diamonds. Excellent. Now we just want to make sure our sealing surface is good, all cleaned. Okay. Then this is how it'll go together. We'll put the O-ring in there, and then we'll put this guy in. Now I'll put some O-ring lube on there, and probably a couple dabs of grease to hold this up, or I'll just push the bolts up through and keep that aligned when we go up into there. All right, let's get this thing prepped and up there. Okay, so we're putting in a new oil level sensor. The old one had that sealing washer. This one actually has a groove with the O-rings, but I don't anticipate any problems. You gotta be very careful because you got plastic, you don't want to strip it out, and then you got a good O-ring seat on there. I'm happy with that. Let's plug our plug in. Perfect. Nice. And that's it. Now we got to put the oil filter up. All right, we're going to do that. It's just an oil filter. Everybody knows how to do that. Okay, we need to put 4 quarts of oil into the transmission because I took 4 quarts out. I remember I put it in that black bucket and I just looked at it and it's 4 quarts exactly. So this is 4 quarts. We'll put the old funnel there. So we put in 5 quarts of engine oil and we're putting in 4 quarts of transmission fluid. Just gotta go slow because you don't want it to come boiling up the you know, that tube that the dipstick goes in. Here, maybe you guys can watch me pour. Poor, poor, pitiful me. Can't answer you right now, Jonas. My hands are full. I can't answer you there either. This is the correct way to fill up transmissions. Not to a level plug and heat it up and cycle it around and do-da-day. I'm sure we'll have to add more though, because I'm not sure how long this was leaking. And there we go, 4 quarts. Down the hatch. All right, so I don't want to start it up yet. I'm not ready for that. It's 5:30. I'm tired. I gotta plant peppers yet. So today's Monday. Tomorrow, I think we get this thing buttoned up. Wheels go on. Engine gets checked for leaks. I'll connect the battery. I've had this car for 3 weeks. The owner's been pretty dang patient. Engine oil is topped up. Transmission fluid, we put in what we took out. So we'll verify once we get it heated up. We changed the temperature sensor. We changed the wheel speed sensor in back because that was leaking out of the tranny. We changed the oil level sensor because that was leaking as well. You saw that gasket that was on there. Overall, it's been a good repair. Not too bad. I got a couple of hammer slammers coming in. So I have a Nissan Rogue coming in for brakes. And then I have I think it's a Nissan Juke. And that's coming in for an O2 sensor. Then I have a Subaru Impreza, 2010 Subaru Impreza that'll be in for head gasket, valve cover gaskets, the whole works. Maybe even a timing setup. And then I can't take on any more work because I have to get my lawn tractor running. I got a lot of stuff that needs fixing because it's all broke. Okay, we got the motor running. We're checking all along there. A nice blue gasket in there. So really and the oil pan is getting hot, so that's good. So the transmission and the oil pan are heating up. That's awesome because we know then we got oil turbulating and moving around. So I'm gonna bring her down one more time, bleed the rear brakes, and then put the wheels on and take her for a ride.
All right, that's going to do it for the 94 Caprice Classic. We have the oil pan seal in, and it's not leaking. We just took it for a ride. We have the level sensor in and not leaking. All that stuff up there was put back in. Tranny pan, dry as a popcorn fart. Looking great. And we've got no dripping out of the transmission from that wheel speed sensor back there. Nothing there. Muffler hung on. Good to go. And we got these gold 3 blades holding these spokers on. That baby's dialed in, ready to cruise.